are you from? England. No, like, where are you from? Oh, Wiltshire. No, I think you meant, like, where were you born? Oh, why didn't you say so? Salisbury Hospital. You're not from London? No, why would I be from London? Oh, I don't know, you just have a London accent. Oh. So where are your parents from? So that's what they really wanted to ask me. What's my nationality? Essentially, they're thinking, well, you're black, so you can't be from around here. How long does it take you to do your hair? Can I touch it? How do you wash it? How do you wash it? Now, it seems ridiculous if I'm asking a white person how they wash their hair, or someone with white hair how they wash it. So why are you asking me how I wash mine? Backhanded compliments are a thing I hear a lot as well. You're a pretty black girl. You've done well for a girl. Wow, you're so well-spoken. What do you mean I'm a pretty black girl? Suggesting that black girls aren't usually pretty? And what do you mean I've done well for a woman? Can women not be successful? And of course, what a surprise that the black boy from, I don't know, South London has vast vocabulary and can speak correct grammar. These are all examples of microaggressions. Now, what's a microaggression? A microaggression are the common daily verbal slights, whether intentional or unintentional, that communicate hostile, derogatory, or negative attitudes towards culturally marginalized groups. Now, to many in this room, you may not even see the problem with these questions or statements, and some of you may have even asked them yourselves, but they're not okay. Do you have people coming up to you in the street, touching your hair, asking, can I touch it, staring at you like you're from a zoo? No, I highly doubt it, but I do. My black friends do, and it's not okay. To be honest, it's just really weird, but it's not okay. Now, a lot of black people have to face microaggressions on a daily, and it's something black boys, women, girls, and men experience all around the world. But because they're called microaggressions, suggesting they're small, people think, oh, it's not direct racism, so it can't affect anyone, right? Wrong. These little comments have such a big impact on the whole entire world, and they go so overlooked, so they shouldn't be called microaggressions. There are lots of microaggressions in the workplace. My mum is a young, black, successful woman, and she has faced a lot of microaggressions in her lifetime. And I watch as she strives hard to do well for me and her, and she fights these aggressions, and she fights the inequality that she faces in the workplace. I always inspire to be as confident and strong as her. Don't worry, she didn't tell me to say this to you guys. But not everyone can be as strong as my mum. Not everyone can have their head held up when facing so much prejudice and so much aggression. I was privileged enough to meet the MP of Vauxhall, Florence Ashalomi. She's also an amazing woman. She, just like my mum, is also a young, black, successful woman. And my mum and her, whether it's they're facing prejudice for being black or a woman, have to face it all the time. And although Florence is a literal MP, it goes to show that no matter how hard you work, how powerful you are in the world, that there will be microaggressions everywhere, and little to nothing will be done about it. Black men and women experience so much microaggressions on a daily that they have to change the way they act, the way they look. Social media has opened our eyes so much to the beauty standard, which is the majority of it is white. Small noses, long straight hair, blue eyes, features that black people don't usually have. Now imagine a young black girl, I don't know, following Vogue on Instagram. Now don't get me wrong, Vogue has become very much inclusive these days. However, there's a lot more media that is still living in a past where the beauty standard is still very white. She's going to be thinking, why don't people have my hair? Why don't I see pretty girls with hair like mine? With white kids in their class telling them their hair's crazy, it's not normal. That makes her feel micro and belittled. Why should we give people the chance to make her feel small? The aggression isn't micro. It has a big impact on her and probably will for the rest of her life. This will encourage her to change how she looks. This will encourage all black people to change how they look. Change their features, change their hair, all because of the beauty standard. This is called code fishing. Code fishing is when a person alters the way they look, speak, or act to fit with their environment. Now, sometimes black people might change their hair, might change the way they dress, the way they speak. So it's something called AVE, which is African American Vernacular English, or Black English as it's also referred to. They won't speak like this around their colleagues. They will change to fit their environment. They will change their hair, they'll change their attitude, because they want to act less black, just so that they can fit in with their environment. There was one time I came to school with my afro, one time only, and I'll never do it again, because the entire day I felt completely and entirely objectified. I was treated like a class clown, and not a single teacher in the school that witnessed what felt like complete torment all day said anything. But it wasn't because they wanted to let it slide, because they're racist. It's because they didn't even understand what was wrong with the situation in the first place. All they're seeing is kids being kids. Let's all make fun of the black kids' hair. For them, it was a joke. For me, it's something that will probably affect me for the rest of my life. The aggression, far from micro. My name is Mya, 3 letters, 2 syllables. A pretty simple, easy name. Now, in the past, you may have heard people say things like, all black people look the same, or I've heard at least once somewhere. I promise you they don't. I mean, I'll take it if there's any small chance I look like Rihanna. That woman is gorgeous. But seriously though, we don't. I get mixed up with about 6 other black girls in my school, 4 of which are mixed race, mixed with whites to be specific. And yet I get called up with their names. And every time I correct someone, be like, my name is Mya, I'm not the other girl you just referred to me as, the excuses these people come up with, wow, it's incredible. It's like, I can meet someone with absolutely no imagination, no creativity, and all of a sudden, they're one of those toddlers that's just been found by the fridge, chocolate all over their face, Nutella jar right next to them. The excuses those kids come up with. Mr. Snugglepug did it. Mr. Snugglepug is a cotton bear. No, Mr. Snugglepug did it, guys. But we have to remember, all black people look the same, and I look like Rihanna. But seriously, though, we don't look the same. We're all very much individual people. And when you call out on them, when you try to remind them that that's not my name, why do people get so annoyed about it? You wouldn't like if I called you the wrong name, so why should I accept you calling me the wrong name? So why is it every time I correct you, you get annoyed? Oh, it's just a name. One study found that in 2001, people with black-sounding names were less likely to get accepted for a job than people with white-sounding names. Microaggression. They aren't just names. Back in the generation, it may sound ridiculous, but generations ago, we had to fight for our names. My ancestors, and all black people's ancestors, were stripped of their names, stripped of their culture, stripped of everything that made them black. They lost all of that because their names were too complicated, too black. They weren't white enough for the slave owners to understand. They were stripped and taken of their names. And these are names that we have to carry to this day. That's why my surname is James, my mother's surname Philip. We have to carry these white names that were stripped of our ancestors. So no, they're not just names. They're a history. And understand that every time you pronounce my name wrong, I will correct you. Every time you pronounce my friend's name wrong, I will correct you. Like I said before, my name is Mya. 2 syllables, 3 letters. I have an African friend. Her name also has 3 letters, 2 syllables. Her name is shortened because a lot of white people can't pronounce it properly. And even with the shortened version, with continuous correction, people get it wrong. Teachers will refuse to learn their names. They'll completely butcher them. People refuse to try and understand the history behind their names. Oh yeah, it's Mya down the corridor. But that wasn't Mya. Oh, it's the other black girl. They all look the same, but we don't. So why would you assume that we do? Why can't you stop and learn our names? If we come to school to learn, surely we can teach children the culture behind black people. We can teach them what's right and what's wrong. We can teach them how to learn. It's not as hard as it may seem. It's a name. It's anything like an English lesson. They have long, long words in English. You can learn those words, so why can't you learn a name that you'll be saying a lot more? These are small things that are called microaggressions. When really, is it that micro? Blatantly refusing to learn my name for your own benefit? Blatantly refusing to get my name right with the other black kid in the year for your benefit? And it's a pretty simple name. It's like you're trying to make it difficult for yourselves. Anyone in this room, especially teachers and adults, I urge you to educate yourselves, even beyond this room. I'm here today to teach you a little bit about microaggressions, but I want you all to go out of this room thinking, what can I do to improve the future? What can I do to make sure the next generation of children, black young children, don't have to experience this, don't have to face this, don't have to feel subjectified to the only black kid in the school. Oh yeah, that's the black kid. Why should we have to feel like that? Why should we have to feel belittled? Why should we have to feel micro? Take time to learn. Be more diverse, but don't just be more diverse. Be inclusive. Include more black people into your environment. Include teaching kids black cultures. And of course other cultures too, but I'm speaking from my perspective. I'm speaking from a young black girl who has experienced microaggressions on a daily. Not one day goes by where I don't hear a comment about my hair, my skin, or something completely stereotypical. Why do we still have to face this in the year that we're in today? They're not microaggressions. They're just basic, blatant aggressions. And people need to understand, people need to realize there's more. There's more to just being the black kid in the school. There's more to just changing your hair. Kids get excluded for having their afros out. Does that sound right to you? Does that sound right to have you be penalized, be punished for having hair? Oh, it distracts other kids. No, it distracts white kids. It distracts you. This is my hair, and I should be proud of it. I haven't been seen without my braids since the day of the afro. It may seem, like I said, it may seem small. Oh, they were just joking around, it was just banter. But it wasn't for me. You will never understand what it's like to be a black child in a predominantly white country. And I've always been in predominantly white countries. And it's all I've ever known, if I'm completely honest with you. But if given the chance to really change, really embrace my roots, embrace my heritage, I don't know if I would. I've gotten so used to the way I act, the way I speak, the white environment, that even when I'm surrounded by my entire black family, I don't even feel like I fit in. Minus being the only British one whose Trinidadian accent is absolutely atrocious. But besides that, I don't feel like I fit in because I've gotten so used to code switching. So now I have to spend the rest of my life just so that I won't get bullied, I won't get picked on, I won't face racial abuse. Code switching. Don't let the next generation of black young children be like this. Be better. Learn more for yourselves. And first and foremost, check your biases. Are you being inclusive? Are you being anti-discriminatory? Are you welcoming all black people into your community? Are you being selective? Are you learning our names? Are you pronouncing our names right? Are you stopping to think, hey, that isn't the same kid. That is a completely different person. Today, I wasn't even going to add this in, but it happened today. I was walking down the corridor, and a kid came up to me, calling me the name of another black kid. Of today of all days, I was like, wow. Interesting how that happens. But it just goes to show that even every day, it would just happen. Oh, you're this kid. No, I'm not. No, but you are. No, I don't think I am. No, but you look just like her. Okay. I'll just leave them with that. But this goes to show that people aren't learning, people aren't teaching, people aren't being educated. Black people have been here since the beginning of time, the beginning of everything. But same with everyone else in this room, every human being, everything. We've been here since the beginning of time, and we're not going anywhere. We will keep empowering. We'll keep speaking out. We'll keep being loud. Yes, we are loud, but we've been silenced for so long that this is our chance to finally speak out. I'm using my platform to speak out now. We've been quiet and silenced for years, and this is our chance. This is our time. This is finally our purpose to finally be heard. Whether you have to be more inclusive. Being anti-racist should be the bare minimum. Do you want a reward for not being racist? Do you want a reward for actually listening to a woman's opinion? Men hate to be called feminists. Feminist isn't a woman that wants to be superior to men. A feminist is someone, man or woman, who just wants equality. Why can't we just go for equality? Why does it have to be superiority and inferiority? You shouldn't be touching anyone's hair regardless of race or ethnicity. You shouldn't be going up to people, grabbing them, touching them. We're not in a museum. We're human beings. Stop calling microaggressions micro. They're just aggressions, and they're made to make the aggressor feel more comfortable with being blatantly racist. It needs to end now. I urge you to call out microaggressions. Be more inclusive. Be there when you see a microaggression. Don't just stand there and say nothing. Call it out. Say that's not okay. Think about yourselves. Think about, am I saying things I shouldn't be saying? Educate your friends. Educate your peers. Educate your colleagues. Like I said, microaggressions aren't just microaggressions. They're just aggressions. And you know what? They're just darn outright racist.